The Eagles might make a change on defense that at first I did not see coming, as the return of a veteran in the secondary could mean that another shakeup is coming at the safety position. Plus, hear what happened with Darius Slay after his release from the Steelers, and what did Kevin Patullo have to say about a possible move up to the coaching booth? Also, what's the latest on Justin Herbert's status ahead of the Eagles and Chargers game, what's going on with Jihaad Campbell, and what did Hard Knocks reveal about Jalen Hurts and the current state of the Eagles locker room? Well, let's talk about that and all the other latest news starting right now. Well, as if things couldn't get any more eventful for the Eagles right now, the first episode of HBO's in-season edition of Hard Knocks featuring the NFC East officially aired on Tuesday night, so drop a like down below for that. Let's see if we can get to at least 500 likes today. And luckily for the Eagles, nothing bad came out of it. I mean, I think some fans had this idea that we were going to see this whole new side of the Eagles and Hard Knocks was going to give us a look into any drama going on behind the scenes, but at least after episode 1, that hasn't been the case. And in fact, it's been the opposite, as even though the episode covered the Birds' 2-game losing streak, it showcases them staying focused and embracing adversity. There's this conversation between Nick Sirianni and Brandon Graham that was really nice. And then when things go bad, it shows them taking accountability, specifically Jalen Hurts during the Bears game.
He's lucky. He fires, and it is incomplete. He missed Devontae Smith.
He's expecting a stop by Devontae Smith. Smitty is running a slant.
What you think?
When I pointed like this, that's my fault. I thought you was going to settle down.
No, I think that's what we talked about.
It's a play I got to make. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing. That's me. It's I did. That's on me, though. I got to protect the ball at the end of the day. Y'all look at that first.
Yeah, so apparently this is the guy that everyone's really frustrated with in the Eagles locker room right now. I don't know, man. I mean, to me, I don't see how that could possibly be the case when all he does is continue to take accountability and show great leadership when things don't go his way or when he messes up. And you know Jalen is willing to do anything to get things right and to get back to winning. So I don't know. I don't buy all that drama, and I also have lost absolutely zero faith in Jalen Hurts moving forward. Someone I definitely don't have much faith in right now, though, is offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo. And again, as of right now, he is going to stay as the play caller, so no change there at this time. But one change that obviously we were hoping maybe the Eagles would consider was the one that Nick Foles recently suggested on his podcast, that being to move KP up into the coaching booth to get him away from the distractions on the sideline and help him see the field and defenses more clearly. But Patullo had his press conference on Wednesday, and it seems like that change is currently not on the table.
Maybe there would be some benefit to you moving up to the booth to call plays. Do you see any validity in that, or why is it still beneficial to be on the field?
Yeah, I think the communication with the players is important. Since I've been here in 21, I've been on the field every time, and I think there's a lot of communication with players, coaches on the field, making sure adjustments are done correctly. You know, conversations I have with Jalen, with the O-line, with the receivers that are very important. And I've been on the field for a long, long time. I don't think I've been in the box since like maybe 2011 as a coach. So it's been a while. And I think just the relationship I have with the guys and the communication has been good, and we just got to continue to improve in other areas, and we'll be all right. Thanks, guys.
I mean, I understand that communication between the OC and the players is important, and you lose that if KP goes up into the booth, but also you gain some things as well. And again, the offense just is not clicking right now. So in my opinion, you got to do something different, but unfortunately, it looks like this specific change is just not on the table. Still, though, as much as I'm not a fan of Patullo, and I'm not exactly confident in his ability to call plays and get this offense fixed, I do got to give respect to him for the way that he responded to his house being egged over the weekend.
You know, at this point, right, we're ready to focus in winning the game. Unfortunately, it happened. I've been here for 5 years now, and it's been awesome. I mean, this is such a unique place to coach and play. It's very special. We've been to, 2 NFC Championship games we've won at Lincoln Financial, a Super Bowl. The parade is it's an amazing atmosphere to be a coach and a player. And as coaches and players, we all know that part of our job is to handle criticism. And so it's perfectly acceptable to sit up here and talk about what's going on, how to fix it, what we're going to do going forward, and we know that. But when it involves your family, obviously crosses the line. And so that happened. And at this point, we just got to move on. We're trying to win. That's all we want to do is focus. Whether it's my family, whether it's the team, all we're trying to do together is focus on this week. We've got a long week, which has been good to have an extra day of preparation, and go out to LA and beat the Chargers.
Respect to Patullo for that, and again, going after somebody's house and in turn involving their family is definitely going over the line and never okay. That said, again, the criticism that Patullo is getting is very well warranted, and although I'm not exactly confident in this, he just has to be better and he has to find ways to get things fixed moving forward, otherwise we're going to be in trouble. Because the fact of the matter is, the scheme has been really bad this year. I mean, throughout the entire season, we've actually seen a long list of guys in one way or another, directly or indirectly, criticize the scheme of the Eagles offense. And that includes outside voices like Dan Orlovsky, Nick Foles, Greg Cosell, Kurt Warner, and the former Eagles CJ Gardner-Johnson, and then current Eagles, much less directly criticized it like Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Lane Johnson. And again, that's on Patullo, and that's also on Nick Sirianni. And also, not saying that the players don't deserve blame right now either, because they definitely do. I mean, basically, the whole offense just isn't cutting it right now, so they've just somehow got to find a way to be better moving forward. But that said, the defense hasn't been perfect either, and they're coming off a pretty rough performance of their own, and now they're going to have another test this week with the Chargers offense that can also be dangerous. Plus, there's some unknown there as well with the whole Justin Herbert injury situation, as they don't know if it's going to be him or backup quarterback Trey Lance starting on Monday night. And then there's the whole element of if Herbert does play, which I think he probably will, that'll probably mean little to no plays under center and the Chargers running more out of pistol and gun looks, which was only further supported by news out of LA earlier this week that Trey Lance will get all the first team reps in practice this week in goal line situations, which typically involves under center plays. As after Herbert suffered the break in his left hand against the Raiders, he did not take any under center snaps for the rest of the game. And obviously, if that were to continue this week against the Eagles, that changes the run game for the Chargers significantly. And also, Herbert didn't practice on Wednesday and will likely be limited all week long, but Coach Jim Harbaugh said that they're optimistic that he will be able to play. So, obviously, again, there's a lot of unknown here, and the Eagles got to be ready for it all.
Yeah, we'll have to prepare for both quarterbacks. Probably knowing that if Herbert plays, he'll be in the pistol a lot and in the gun. But yeah, we'll have to be ready for both. They are a team that likes to be under center a fair amount. Most of the run game that they do from under center and play pass game, they can do from pistol and the gun. It's just he'll be back there more.
Sticking with the defense, and I did want to address something that I haven't gotten to talk about in the previous two videos, that being that Eagles' first-round rookie and former Rookie of the Year candidate Jihaad Campbell didn't play a single defensive snap against the Bears on Black Friday, which is crazy considering how good Campbell was earlier in the year, but also it's at least somewhat understandable with Nakobe Dean obviously being back in the lineup, and finding a nice balance and rotation at the linebacker position specifically is certainly really difficult, especially with Nakobe playing as well as he has been. Still though, the Eagles just gotta find a way to get Jihaad Campbell out there, even if it is in a very limited role, and it seems that Vic Fangio agrees with that.
Probably should have gotten him in there for a few. That'd be my fault there, but obviously with the run game, the way it was happening, and that's been a strength of Nakobe's, we wanted to leave him in there.
Is that your plan going forward, to try to find him some snaps?
Yeah.
Moving back to the secondary now, and obviously there's been some shuffling going on there in recent weeks with the Eagles suffering a few injuries, and now it seems like we could possibly be on the verge of yet another change, as after Sidney Brown took over as the starter at safety last week because of Andrew Makuba's injury, it seems there's now another candidate being added into the mix for that job, that being the veteran and the once-and-again Eagle Marcus Epps, as the Birds activated his 21-day practice window on Wednesday after he had spent the last chunk of the season on IR. And Vic Fangio says that not only does he expect him to be available for Monday night's game, but he also says that Epps will be in contention to start.
A three-part Marcus Epps question for you. Do you think he's going to be ready for Monday? Is he in contention to start if he is? And at one point he was your third safety. What did you like about him?
Yeah, yes to the first two. And three, he's an experienced safety. He's got good instincts, got a good feel for the game. We'll have to get a feel and a barometer about where he's at, missing the last 4 or 5 weeks, whatever it was, where he couldn't practice anyway.
Now, in addition to this, Fangio also said that Sidney Brown's performance on Friday was pretty up and down, much like the rest of the defense, and I do think there's pros and cons for both guys starting, but Obviously, Epps is the seasoned veteran, he's more experienced, he has a lot more confidence from the Eagles fan base, and I think most importantly, he was ahead of Sid on the depth chart as recently as Week 6 when Reed Blankenship exited the game, and it was Epps who came in to fill that spot over Sid. Now, that said, obviously, Epps has been injured for a while, so I could see either one of those two guys starting, and it will definitely be interesting to see how it all plays out on Monday night. Staying in the secondary, though, we switch our attention over to the latest update on Darius Slay, as of course, the former Eagle and Super Bowl champion was just let go by the Pittsburgh Steelers on Tuesday, prompting tons of speculation that Big Play Slay could be headed back to Philadelphia. And that speculation only got louder on Wednesday, as early in the morning, John Clark reported that there was mutual interest between Slay and the Eagles if he were to clear waivers, and what gave this report actual weight is that John Clark is the one reporting it, because he's typically really reliable. Plus, add on top of that Darius Slay's wife, Jennifer, seemingly hinted at a return to Philly with several of her recent tweets, including one on Wednesday saying, quote, "Philly, y'all are effing amazing, the love is so real." And also, Slay himself hopped on a call with known streamer Janky Rondo after he was released, who of course has a ton of connections to Eagles players and is the same guy that AJ Brown was on that Twitch stream with not long ago. And Slay hinted strongly that he might want to come back to Philly.
Go ahead and do my, okay. Green and black.
No, why you do that?
Y'all go ahead and bang on this nigga cause what?
We gon' see. Oh, hey, you know they want you back, bro.
You know,
Come
I know
to
they
Denver.
do. You know I do. You know that's all. You know I got nothing but love for my city.
You know the vibe, man. Hey,
You know.
I think you should do it, bro. Go try, go get another one, man. Why not?
Hey, look, come on, man. Talk to me like you know me.
Unfortunately, all this hype was all for naught, as Slay was claimed off waivers by the Buffalo Bills on Wednesday, meaning that a reunion in Philly was just a fantasy. And, you know, this is definitely not the end of the world. Again, as much as I love him, Slay hasn't exactly been great this year. And even though I think that he would be better if he came back to the Eagles because of the familiarity he has there was also no guarantee that he would even start for them. And, you know, not saying that he's going to go start for the Bills necessarily either, but what I am saying is the Eagles didn't absolutely need him, even if they did want him. And Adoree Jackson has actually been playing all right as of late anyway.
How do you think has Adoree settled into where you're comfortable not looking at maybe Keeley or Jacorian at this point?
Yeah, at this point, I would say so.
Good luck to Slay in Buffalo. Definitely still wish him nothing but the best. In the meantime, though, the Eagles obviously got a game to prepare for on Monday against the Chargers, and you guys know that I'm going to be covering all the news that comes out regarding that throughout this entire week in the lead up to it, so make sure you guys subscribe and you turn on notifications so you don't miss anything, and also drop a like down below to show some support, because it really does help me out a ton. Let's see if we can get to at least 500 likes today, and also hit the hype button, because that helps me out a ton as well, and also leave a comment down below just regarding anything that I talked about in this video, because that also helps me out a ton, and if you do want to watch another Eagles video, you can check this out right here. And now with all that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.